Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Grassroots Weekender show, and as you can see I'm joined by young commentators, Ben and Jaden. Welcome to the show. The other lads, they're still on holiday, and we also have Wayne who's sitting there drinking his cup of coffee, eating the Kit Kat, eating all the sweets.
Have a lovely time.
Welcome to the show there, Wayne.
Thank you very much.
Great. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to have a rant before this goes on. We just had a little discussion of, they're going to love this now, and my rant is £100 million for a footballer. Now come on, I'm a football fan, love it, but as far as I'm concerned, I think it's going overboard. We've just come out of the pandemic, people have been in lockdown, and yet football comes back, England play the games, and then suddenly it goes wild again. £100 million. Now Wayne, you've just been having a go at me saying it's not Jack Grealish's fault.
I'm not having a go.
Thanks very much.
I'm stating, it's not Jack Grealish's fault. You're only worth what someone's about to pay for you. But the grassroots sort of thing, it's not Man City's job to do grassroots football. To look at. Did you do it? Do you have a good community hub?
Can I just say something then? £100 million.
If they've got it to pay it, that was the release clause, wasn't it?
Why don't they subsidise the fans' payment, the money that they're paying to come in the turnstiles? £100 million?
Yeah, I agree with that, because it is expensive, and Liverpool is no exception, but you're asking somebody to subsidise something that they're already saying, that they're already doing, and they make the freeze throws tickets for someone, and I still think they're too expensive anyway.
Yeah.
Man City don't fill every single game, do they?
No.
Whereas Liverpool could probably charge £80 a ticket, and we tried to once. We all walked out, and probably get it. But that's not the end. I think
you just said there, you just hit the nail on the head. They all walked out. They got what they wanted. Why don't the fans turn around and say, "Come on, let's"?
Because they want to see this. They
don't want to see one.
They want to see big players move.
Come on.
It's not. It's exciting. It still excites people. I'm sure back in the day when Trevor Francis moved for £1 million, that was uproar. People were saying, "What's going on here?"
But we've got to cap it. We've got to stop it. Someone's got to stop it.
Well, Spain haven't they? And that's the reason. But Messi.
We're talking kids. We're talking kids here. Grassroots football. Dire straits. People can't afford this. We're talking about food banks. We're talking about everything.
No, I agree.
And yes, £100 million. And what they're saying is, sponsors are putting the money in. Everyone's putting the money. The money is galore. It is. We'll bring the kids in a minute as well, because I'm sure they're going to say something about it.
Yeah, as I said before, the problem it's a big problem, because Man City's been allowed, apparently they were skint. They've just got off a fair play. Somehow got out of that one. And they're now spending £100 million and then got to spend probably another 120 at least on Harry Kane. Where's all the balance of the books don't really put, but
didn't they get like what's it called as well, Champions League ban? But they like 4 times.
That's they got out of it for the technicality, I think. But I think the problem lies with the FA and Premier League, and the FA have allowed the Premier League to become too big. It's not a bad thing. We've got the greatest league in the world. It's very exciting. However, the cap on stuff should have been in place probably 5 years ago, and the cap and then any money left over after the clubs have made this amount of money should be fed down to the likes of EFL club. Then we wouldn't EFL Championship, because once you go to Championship you've only got to look at Bury, and they went out of business. It's badly run, but there was not really support from the EFL. I felt it was
from anyone.
The club like Bury should be safe. End of story. It should be a part. That's a community club. That's everything that they have in that area. We're quite lucky. We've got 3 that are quite big: Liverpool, Tranmere, and Everton. I didn't say that respectively. Didn't mean to put Everton behind Tranmere there. But we've got quite lucky. But some parts of the country only have that hub, like Swindon Town just being taken over and saved. That's their community, and that's that little town.
Yeah.
And now they've saved, they've got a new manager and things. They're still under the transfer embargo, so they could go to a bust. But the Premier League have got £100 million spent on one player.
Well, it's not the Premier League, it's Man City.
Six clubs are on the verge of going bust, and you look at the situation at Derby, we've only got 8 players to start Saturday. So I think the problem is there's too much wealth in one division and nothing, but I think everyone knows that. I think Gary Neville's been talking about this for quite a while. It needs to be redistributed. They need to have a cap, what you're saying.
Yeah.
And the rest of the money that's left over from all these TV rights and stuff like that, instead of keeping it in one league, it needs to be pushed down.
Well, look, the reason I'm having a rant is because we're doing a Hearts of Gold initiatives. You know that, don't cross the line. Not-for-profit organisation like yourself, like your volunteers, work in, week out, week in, and all they're doing is trying to raise funding to keep the kids playing football, to keep kids on the toes, to keep kids, vulnerable kids, disadvantaged children, we're all clubbing together. And then you see this, and that really breaks my heart to see what that 100 million could do for grassroots football, for kids, for everyone in society.
Is it going to, in the other way, Man City paying Aston Villa £100 million, that should cascade down into other things. So already they've spent money on Danny Ings.
Yeah, and that will also help Aston Villa a lot.
Aston Villa a lot, so they can go and spend more money on different
It's all
players.
helping the Premier League teams, isn't it? We just said that.
Yeah, but
It's not going down, it's not filtering down. It's
I
staying
think
in
it
one
might,
place.
it might depend on who they buy. I mean, Villa and Southampton, they do tend to buy championship players and make them better, don't they? And Southampton have got a fantastic recruiting policy as well, haven't they? That
Well,
Liverpool usually take the players.
Well, probably we're full of Reds here today. This is no... Because I'm a Red, if it happened to Liverpool as well, I'd begrudge all this money getting spent on players. You know, it's like a top league. Let's see who can spend the most money. Let's go top of the league.
You can't deny it's exciting. How would you feel when you see £100 million for the Aston Villa? Honestly,
Shocked.
shocked, excited, not.
I'm not excited. Like,
I don't think he's worth that amount. I think he's only worth around 50 or 60 million, not 100.
And I think that
you'd be spending like where Messi is obviously he's worth around. Well, I think they're asking for like loads and loads. But these actually only worth around. Well, thinking about like of what he actually does play, and most of the time he doesn't really score every game, but he's a really good player. But I think he's only worth around 150 million or something like that.
34.
But you know Ronaldo's now 40 million.
Is
he?
Yeah, 40 million on the transfer market.
Is he? I'd pay that.
Too much money.
The thing is, no.
Too much
With,
money.
Jack Grealish, he might be worth 50 million quid, but to Aston Villa he was worth 100 because of the development and the connection,
because
and
of
he's the
how he's been
captain.
there for years.
Yeah, so
he's
to
been
them,
there since he's a kid, and he's now had to go.
He was at Aston Villa.
yeah, from 6 years of age. But they put a value that they didn't think would be met.
We just want feedback off our viewers, our listeners. We'd love to know their thoughts. Grassroots football, what could you do with that 100 million? Maybe we could create jobs, we could put a factory up. People are dire straits, people are suffering.
Start a new club.
As a new club, bring Berry back. I don't know, this is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Grassroots football,
It's
these
a
kids are growing
debatable
up
thing,
into
but
that.
the way it's going, it's scary. I think in Spain, what they've done over the last couple of years has been quite good, and it's put two big clubs sort of in the place a little bit, haven't they?
Here's my forecast for Manchester City. They're all talking about, they're raving about, they've got all the top players. Nearly 900 billion that Man City is spending. Pep Guardiola making them the top manager. If everyone had that money to spend and bring in the top players, fantastic. All these players at Man City, they're going to be shocked. I think they're going to have a big bust up somewhere mid-season. All these players aren't going to sit on the bench unless that's all they're there for.
But it depends on the management system and that, because if you're open and honest with your team and say, look, you're not going to play every game, but the greater good is to rotate us on 3 games.
Yeah, but Wayne's just saying, we're only in it to play Champions League football, we're going to these clubs, we're only there to play football, that's all we want to do. They're sitting on the bench and getting £300,000 a week, looking up at the crowd and having a laugh and a joke.
I said this like 2 years ago, before any of this. I said what they should do is, like, if a player sits on the bench like for all of the game, they get half the money of what they should get.
There's some contracts that do that,
Yeah.
but that's like a pay-as-you-play thing, but that's
No,
not
I
the
mean,
that's
like,
part of
if-
the contract, is it, that he signed?
I mean, like, if they're like, say they're on the bench for like 3 games, they start getting like half their money.
Good point.
Because
It was
Hopefully,
actually no. It's like Özil when he was when he was with Arsenal. He was on the game. It was on the bench for literally the whole of the season.
Yeah.
Played like 1-2 games. Now he's gone to
Umbrella.
Fenerbahce and he's actually playing really well for them. And
Yeah.
well, they're trying to qualify for the Europa League, and I think they might actually do that. And
But is that the player's fault? So they sit on the bench for 300 grand a week.
No, I think that's
No,
just
it's
for managers.
not really. It's
He fell with the manager, didn't he?
well,
Well,
they
at least the
have
manager
a
turned around and
huge
said he
squad.
wanted to play football. So, yeah.
Well, he took a wage cut, though, wasn't he, to go? He took a wage cut to go.
I'm talking about these players who were just sitting there, lapping it up. You got Aguero, how long? Look what he was doing. He wasn't getting games in the FA Cup finals. He was sitting on a bench.
I think we can let Aguero go a little bit for what he did. I think he's number one goal scorer. He banged him in. So I don't think it's lack of say he wants to play. I think that's why he left.
Did he? He just.
We don't know though, do we?
Well, he was crying when he was going. I'm surprised he had to go and play football.
He's been there for a long time. He's got a connection with the City fans and stuff like that. I let Aguero go, but for me, it's not the players' fault. They're only getting swept away with what's going on in the background in the boardrooms. If you remember Leeds United, as Mr. Ridsdale, and Seth Johnson was a player, good player, but I think he had 16 grand in his head as agent, and he went in and he went, right, 16 grand, we'll try and get that 16 grand, and he went in and Ridsdale went, right, 25 grand we're going to give you, and he looked at his agent as like surprised, and Ridsdale took it as he's not happy. I went, no, okay, 35, final offer. So he went in wanting 16. He got offered 20, 25. Was a little bit shocked at that because it was more than what he was getting. They thought it was different, and there's true. And Leeds United obviously nearly went bust, didn't he? On the back of that, and ended up in League One, was it?
Oh, God.
It turned to League One. So bad management as well, but of the funds. But City, yeah, they've got a massive cash cow. As a country, he's backing them a little like
Wait, how much
at
is
PSG,
Jack
but
Grealish getting every single?
it's about 360 quid a week, which is about
360 quid a week.
Yeah.
360 quid a week.
time. I don't know that.
I know what you meant.
Yeah, so £360,000 a week, which is about £1.4 million a month. Not bad, is it?
So well,
Now, come on, I've seen all these punters all turning around, and let the lads know, they're all turning around going, wow, this is where the one player who's going to really come out on top. He's going to win everything, the golden boots, the whole lot. They're all bigging him up a little bit more. Pep knows what sort of player he is. He didn't get full games in the England squad when the player, he didn't come on all the time there. I've looked at him, this is my honest opinion. He's not worth 100 million, not in a million years. He's not going to be going out winning all these awards. He's coming up against good players now. People let him go. He was playing for Aston Villa, no disrespect to Aston Villa. That's the team he was playing with. He comes on in the England games with all the top players, young players as well. He's coming against them now. People are starting to look and go, Jack Grealish, okay, come on. Players are going to get jealous of this lad. They really are.
I disagree. I think he's a top player.
Yeah, he's a strong player, they're all saying, the punters. And how many times he's on that floor saying,
But he's
wow,
that's what I mean. He's
clever,
He's
clever, that's what, yeah, he's clever. Any referee should know that. Footballers are clever.
He's very clever. He's very
Clever players where they fall over, win the fouls, and that's all Grealish does.
How long
I
are we
think-
going to do this rant for?
Well, come on, yeah, I said a rant and then let the lads take over, so
Well,
I've had my rant.
it's
I would have liked to have seen him when Neymar went. I think it was nearly 200 million then, weren't it?
I know, but it's getting my back up. But how much a player's going to be worth when these go our age? Come on.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? What you're sort of trying to protect, aren't you? You're trying to protect that.
Local Gregs.
It's basically what you're saying is the cap needed?
Oh God, yeah.
But where do you cap it?
Well, again, that's down to governing bodies, isn't it? And that's down to the
But they
fans.
didn't do it right in the first place. They should have done this like 5-6 years ago with the FA and the Premier League got together and go, this is going out of control. But the Premier League are getting selling rights left, right and centre.
Cap the season tickets, cap everything. You know, fans they've got a voice, them fans. They're the ones who are putting the clubs in the top. It's all about the fans, this. If those fans stayed away from the game, would there be 100 million spent on a player? Not in a million years.
They do. I think they do stay away from the game. There's only a certain amount of clubs that have full houses. The rest, you see empty seats constantly. You go down to the Championship, there's empty seats everywhere. And that's because they can watch it on Sky for 40 quid a month rather than pay £40 a ticket.
The Sky as well, they're bringing in a lot of money to the football teams, aren't they?
They bring it all. So, if you can watch it on the telly
they've now
without...
took over, I think it's the Bundesliga, they've now took over them, it's not. Well, it was originally BT Sports
Yeah,
who
Sky
done that, but Sky have now took over Bundesliga.
So, and this is another point, which I was horrified to see the VAR changes. So yeah, we're getting a thicker line so you don't get a toenail offside, which was ridiculous in the first place.
It's not you.
But now, you get to sit at home and know and hear the referee what's going on. But the people in the crowd, that's not allowed.
Yeah.
So why am I spending the best part of £1,000 on a season ticket to get a less of experience in the stadium than people sitting on watching Sky and BT Sports respectively and Amazon?
Tell them to put your fees down for that grand.
It's ridiculous though, isn't it? It's ridiculous. So, I don't know, we can be here all day talking about £100 million thing.
So,
I don't think it's going to change.
Lads,
I got something.
come on.
Before you were talking about Messi. Yeah. Where would you think he would go now? Because he's officially a free agent.
Liverpool.
Liverpool?
Yeah.
Liverpool?
Yeah.
It's not fast enough for Liverpool.
No, Klopp is, I'd saw before because I was looking on my phone about Liverpool, their transfer news. No, because I'm trying to look to see whether we've, because there's one player who really wants to go to us, and I'd actually went to Wolves Stadium and my dad made a joke because there was Wolves fans literally by the ground and he was saying to them, give us a Adama Traore. And then, well, he's a player like Jack Grealish, always gets fouls, but Jack Grealish, the only reason why he gets fouled is because he goes at them. Adama Traore has what Grealish doesn't really have is the speed, the speed to go down the wing and always get crosses into the box or get into the box and score. And I think he's one of the fastest, might even be the fastest player in the Premier League, and he's a really good player as well. And if anyone's worth that amount of, if it was either, no one's worth that amount of money in the, well, it has to be a player who who's constantly on the street, being amazing every single game and being world class every single game. But it's these big players like Grealish. He might not play every game.
That's what Miles has been saying. Yeah, he might not.
Adama Traore, he doesn't play every game, and everyone says, well, he's been linked with every single club and he hasn't even left.
Yeah.
And it's like
powerful and speed, and that's what people like, isn't it? Messi though, we just keep on your point with Messi.
Yeah.
I think there's only one club that he can possibly go to for the funds, PSG, isn't it? Because I think
but not everyone now. They had Donnarumma, haven't they now got Ramos? Yeah.
2 free transfers, that'll be the third free transfer. So they haven't spent no money.
They haven't really well, I think they did actually spend
I don't think they can spend any money, I don't think they can spend much with the FIFA Fair Play, because it means absolutely nothing anymore.
I don't even understand.
I know we've been talking about transfers a lot, but I'm going to say another one. Ben White, 50 million.
Not worth it, no one's worth the money.
White defender, 50 million to Arsenal.
He's a good player.
He's a good
but
player.
But he's also British, isn't he? Are they in Europe this year?
Who?
Arsenal wouldn't be, are they?
No.
So maybe that's like...
They were like 8.
Having English players and you fit in with the quotas for the UEFA.
No, I don't think
50 million?
Yeah, but he's still young, isn't he? Still young.
I'm not sure if they were 8th, because I think that is now this... I don't know what is it with... Oh, yeah. 8th is like... it's really confusing now with all these... I'm not sure if we're even in... Whether any Premier League teams are even in the qualifiers for the Europa League. I think it's just the two like clubs who qualify, and then whoever would usually go into the Europa League and now go into the Conference League. And it's just, they're adding so many different things. It's like the Nations League. Why on earth did they add that in? Because we got the World Cup, we got the Euros. Why do we need a third one?
I think because friendlies were absolutely boring the living daylights out of people, weren't they? And they were just not engaged.
Well, it's like
just replaced the friendlies,
to be honest.
But the setup with it all was just confusing. And like, when they were originally going to have the Super League, the way they were doing the Champions League, I kind of like that. The idea, I weirdly like that idea of what they were going to do. And
it's good pre-season, but not
yeah.
Not ripping the heart out of a club. But on the Nations League though, the Nations League was created because so many footballers were getting pulled out of the national teams for friendlies because people didn't really want them. But now they can't really do that because it's actually a UEFA competition. It makes the friendlies, they are really friendly. Friendlies with a nice little trophy at the end, but basically the glorified friendlies. But the players can't be pulled out of the teams.
No. You want to know something about with Charlton? He hasn't stopped playing for like 14 months.
No?
Because he played he played normally all of the Premier League, then played in the Copa America, and then went to the Olympics.
Oh, was he on the Olympics, was he?
Yeah, he went to...
yeah, because
he did the Olympics.
I didn't know.
It's hard to get Mo Salah, but yeah, I can say no.
Do you know what? where they've got like the...
Then he went to
the Olympics. I would actually love to see Great Britain in the football with the Olympics, because the amount of talent that we have with like England, because like obviously Great Britain, you've got, it's not just England, it's Wales, Scotland and all that. You've got, well, I'm not even sure because Ireland are their own one now.
Do you really think you'd go there though with all the top players?
Well, I was actually,
£100 a game.
I'd like to
we did have one though
in
London. We
like
had a JGB team.
Yeah, you could have, like, I know the women do it, but you could have had like Harry Kane and like Bale, like they play as Tottenham.
23 limit, under 23 tournaments.
Yeah.
With 4 players or 3 or 4 players that you could have. So we had it in, I think, London. I think Gareth Bale was one of them players, wasn't he? Ryan Giggs managed the team. You had the likes of Joe Allen, Aaron Ramsey played, yeah.
Like, I think we would choose, well, looking at who the managers are right now, I think we would choose Gareth Southgate to manage that. But
even Gerrard.
I don't know.
But yeah, they've got to be, I think, the 23s. So you're talking like Ben White down at age group and maybe Trent.
We've got to. Most of them would probably, like the majority of the England players might not even like get in that. If they'd have to do like, I don't even know what to like. If it was like you'd have to choose a manager who isn't one of the main managers because they'd just be biased.
That's something that money can't buy, isn't it? That's something that you wouldn't want to wage for to have a chance of an Olympic gold medal. I think that's you wouldn't want to get paid for that. You just want to go and win it. Because you can't buy that. You can't buy that moment standing on for your country, can you?
Yeah, like I'm surprised.
Not even £100 million can buy one of them.
Well, you don't know, do you?
The other day I saw that Great Britain were like 8th on the medal
list,
and they're now 4th. You've got 18 gold medals.
I'm losing track. It's one of those things. Isn't
that many goals? Turn them goals into gold halves.
Yes, come and follow us. That's the way to do it.
We could end up winning the boxing, but I think we're in the final on Sunday.
It's exciting though. I've been watching it with the little lads, and they're learning new sports like taekwondo.
Well, listen, could I just quick message to Jack Grealish there? If he's watching, Hearts of Gold, little donation will go a long way, you know, because we can take it all back then, and then you can prove to us that footballers are really worth their weight in gold, and it's a golden heart that we'll give Jack Grealish. Lads, what have you done through the week? What's your plans for this week as well?
Well, I've just imagined the Jack Grealish like surely. So here's 50 million.
Yeah, there you go, his little heart.
Yeah.
Like them, wouldn't he?
Well, on Sunday I've got I play basketball for my team, but I'm also now doing coaching, and I'm doing level 1 coaching, and I'm going to be doing they're going to be like helping me, like tutoring me to get so I could actually like take the test and obviously pass it.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting to do that. But I'm quite a bit nervous.
Come and do it with our team, our little kids team.
Yeah,
and coach our
congratulations on that one. Jaden, what are you up to? What's your plans? Anything? We know we've got young commentators next week, haven't we?
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, I think...
I'm getting to get my suit fitted.
Your suit fitted?
I think.
Ooh, getting close now, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's this?
Mum and Dad's getting married.
Well, hey, great. Invites to everyone. Hey, on here. Big wedding. This is what we're looking forward to.
It is, we look forward to it.
Also when soccer is, I think it's like September, it's early September, but I'm actually...
It might have all changed.
I'm not going, it's too expensive. £240.
Is it?
For me and the kids to go with.
There you go, mate.
Only me and my dad are going, but
Is it like a match? Is it the match thing?
yeah, in the Etihad Stadium.
Yeah.
I'd only go if Boris was playing.
Yeah.
And kids were free.
Yeah, kids should be free. Like.
Yeah,
I only know
go for
him.
that.
Boris play.
Yeah, I think he rugby tackled someone, thought it was rugby, honestly. True story, it's on YouTube.
Youngster, wasn't he? Something like that, the kid.
Ridiculous.
See you, mate. Well, okay, you wanted to mention a quick mention about the kids' voice box. Wait.
Oh yeah, so obviously we've been doing this for quite a while and building up everyone's confidence when we do this.
Yeah.
And the youngsters decided obviously they want to do their own podcast and have their own brands and stuff like that, and he's come up with a logo which he's made. He's come up with the colour scheme, he's come up with the branding, and obviously now we've got the logo and we've got an Instagram up, kids voice box. The name's up, the colour scheme's up, the branding's up, and then we'll have Facebook, and then obviously we'll then hopefully be getting some merch, yeah. Some merch.
Some merch. Is that the merch? Is that calling the celebrities the merch? Like, is that? What
I think there's a bit of both. So hopefully we can get some high-profile people for you to interview coming through the door, or even on Zoom if we have to. But yeah, we're gonna get some t-shirts and stuff like that, and brands us up. But yeah, the fair places, because you designed everything. It's absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant. I will have more young commentators in over the weeks when they come back from their holidays. But in the meantime, Dan, we've got to give you a quick mention. We know you're tuning in and you're bored on your holiday there in Spain for a month, isn't he? So,
it's all right for some, isn't it?
yeah, it's all right for some. The reason that you haven't seen Wayne tonight on TV is because he hasn't brushed his hair and he pleaded with us all that he wanted to sit out the way of the camera. Anyway, to our young commentators, Jaden and Ben, they've been brilliant. So Wayne, thank you very, very much. And I know I've ruffled a few feathers, so we probably get some compliments coming towards my way. Mal@jonesextralines.com, and I'll pass them on to Wayne. He'll sort them all out. In the meantime, we'll be back again tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. So for myself, Mal League, all the team here, all the team at Grassroots Football, all the team at Respect, put your feet up, relax, and have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. So from all of us, have a great evening. Good night, God bless.